Welcome everyone, today we're going to be looking at time problems, and as the title suggests, we're going to be learning to tackle problems involving time. So, starting here, finding the time difference between a pair of times. So over here we've just got this clock here, and this is just hopefully going to summarise quickly how the hours are going to work their way around, okay? So starting at midnight, so that would be 00 up here vertically, so you'd have the hour hand be pointing to the top up here. And it works its way around clockwise between each hour, so it's working around to 4, 5, 6, all the way back round to the start. And once it reaches 11, it actually works its way up to 12. So 12 o'clock, that'll be midday, 1 p.m, 2 p.m, which we can see are 15, 16, 17, all the way back round to 23, which would be 11 o'clock at night, back down to midnight again at 00. Okay, that'd be like a full rotation of the clock. That's how the hours will work their way around. So just bear that in mind for the remainder of the video. So starting with question 1a, find the time difference between 8:15 and 9:30. Now, all I like to do for these ones is split it up into the hours and minutes separately. So the difference in hours we can see is just 1 hour. So from 8 to 9, that is just 1 hour. And the difference in minutes from 15 to 30 is just 15 minutes. So we can just say 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, using the exact same idea. So from 12:15 to 1:04 p.m. or 13:04 would be, well, what we have to do for this time is say, well, the difference from 12 to 13 would be 1 hour. However, what you've got here is a negative change here. So going from 15 to 4, you've got minus 11 minutes. So what we have to do in this case is take that hour, convert it into minutes, which would just be 60, and then we can subtract the 11 minutes away. So this is just the same as 60 minutes, take away 11 minutes, which would just be 49 minutes. It's a really nice, quick and easy way of finding time differences here. Just find the difference between the hours and the minutes, and if you get an amount of minutes that isn't positive or is greater than 60, which we'll be tackling some later on, you're just going to need to blend it in with the hours to make it an actual time. So 22:09 and 02:03. So we're going to have to work out how many hours pass to get from 22 to 02. So 22 is 10 o'clock at night, so 10 p.m, and 02, so 02 is 2 a.m. So using the idea of the clock we were talking about earlier, if you focus your attention on the clock on the top right, you can see starting here at 22, we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 hours to get to 02. Okay, so 4 hours is going to be the difference between 22 and 02. So we've got 4 hours difference here. And the minutes going from 9 to 3 is going to be minus 6. So we're not quite actually 4 hours round. So what we're going to have to do is take out one of those hours, convert that into 60 minutes so it can mix with that minus 6 minutes we have there. So we have 3 hours if we've taken one of those hours out, then we have 60 take away 6 minutes. And that's just going to be 3 hours and 54 minutes. And lastly, 10:26 to 23:08. So the difference between 10 and 23, doing the hours first, is just 13 hours. And the minutes, well, 26 to 8 is going to be minus 18 minutes. So we've got minus 18 minutes there to go from 26 to 8. We have to take away 18, so you've got negative 18 minutes. And again, we're going to use a similar idea and take out one of the hours that we've got and make that into minutes, so we can blend it with the negative 18 minutes we have over here. So we'd say we have 12 hours and 60 take away 18 minutes, which would be 12 hours and 60 take away 18 is 42 minutes. So the time difference between 10:26 and 23:08 is 12 hours and 42 minutes. Okay. Convert 2¼ hours into minutes. So let's break this up and just convert those 2 whole hours we have here into minutes. Well, that would just be 2 times 60, since there's 60 minutes in every hour. So 2 times 60 would be 120 minutes there. And now let's focus on the quarter of an hour we have. So 1/4 of 60. To find a quarter or a half or whatever fraction of something, we just multiply it together. So 1/4 multiplied by 60, or just you can think about a quarter in the sense of halving 60 and then halving it again. That's how you can find 1/4. So halving 60 we get 30, halving it again we get 15 minutes, and that would be 1/4 of an hour. So the total time would be these two added together, so 120 minutes plus 15 minutes, which is 135 minutes. Okay, question number 3. So Becky leaves her house in London at 9:30 a.m. to drive to Newcastle. She drives for 2 3/4 hours, then stops for a break for 20 minutes. She drives for another 1.5 hours before arriving in Newcastle. What time did she arrive in Newcastle? So what we're going to have to do, for a start at least, is convert all of these awkward ones here, so 2 3/4 hours for a start. It'd be nice to convert that into hours and minutes, so then we can just add that on to 9:30 to find out what time she stopped. So 2 3/4 hours, let's convert that into hours and minutes. So we've got the 2 hours, that's absolutely fine, that can stay, we can add that on, we can blend that in with the 9 in the 9:30 a.m. But the 3/4 hours isn't going to be the nicest to deal with, so we're going to have to convert that into minutes. Now we said 1/4 of an hour was 15 minutes, so 3/4 of an hour would be 3 times 15, which would be 45 minutes. And these are standard measures I would like you to know, so if you know that 1/4 of an hour is 15 minutes, a half an hour is 30 minutes, 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes, those are good measures to know for sure, it'll be very, very helpful. Okay, so adding that on to 9:30, we can just say, so 9:30, and we're going to be adding 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now, what this is going to give us is, well, the 09 plus 2, so 9 plus 2 is 11, and 30 plus 45 is 75. So we get 11 and 75. Now that doesn't make entire sense because obviously the minutes here should never exceed 60. So what we're going to have to do is break off 60 of those minutes and combine it with the 11 hours we have over here. So if we take away 60 of those minutes to combine it with the hours, the 11 hours we have, that would give us 12 hours. And since we broke away 60 of those minutes, we'd only have 15 left. And so this is how you'd convert it into an actual time. You'd say 12:15 would be the time that we first stopped, that Becky first stopped. Okay, she then stops for a break for 20 minutes. So this part here we'll do in green, she breaks for 20 minutes. So we're going to have to take that time, 12:15, and add 20 minutes on there. So no hours, but 20 minutes, and that's simply just going to be 12:35. So that's when she gets back on the road again to start driving up to Newcastle. And so, finally in blue, she drives for another 1.5 hours before arriving in Newcastle. So we're going to have to find out what 1.5 hours is in hours and minutes and add that on to 12:35. So 1.5 hours in hours and minutes would be 1 hour and 30 minutes. Again, that's one of the standard measures that I expect you to know. So quarters, halves, 3/4 of an hour are good handy ones to know. You could find that if you didn't know what half an hour was 30 minutes, you can just times 1/2 by 60 to get 30 minutes there. And so adding this on to 12:35, the time she started heading up again, started to get back on the road, you would have, well, 12:35 plus 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's going to give you 13, so that's 1 p.m. and 65 minutes. And again, that should never exceed 60 minutes. So we're going to have to break off 60 of those minutes to mix in with the 13 hours that we have there to give us 14 hours and 5 minutes here. So it'd be 14:05 is the time that we'd arrive in Newcastle. That'd be PM there in the afternoon. So 14:05 PM is the time that we arrived. So you're just adding them on one at a time. You can combine all of these measurements together, so the 2 3/4 hours, the 20 minutes and the 1.5 hours, you can combine them all together at the beginning, then add that all to 9:30 in one big chunk. I just want to slowly show you how you can build your way up to get to the end here. Okay, question number 4. Consider this part of a bus timetable, so you can see what times the buses tend to leave from London and when they arrive in Hitchin, Nottingham and Leeds. Okay, so the question asks, if I got on the 8:04 from London, so again on this bus here, how long would it take to get to Nottingham? So this time here. So we're leaving at 8:04 and we're getting to Nottingham at 11:35. So we've got to find the difference between those two times. I'm just going to show you an alternative way we can do these questions here. So we learnt one way to do them back in question 1. You can just find the difference between the hours and the minutes just by visually seeing it. Or you can use a similar technique we were doing in this question here. And we would say, well, we're going to find the difference between 11:35 and 08:04 when we left. And so what you can actually do is just subtract the first time from the second time. And again, you can just do this separately in hours and minutes. And that would be, well, 11 take away 8 is just 3. So it took 3 hours. And 35 take away 4 would be 31 minutes. So it took 3 hours and 31 minutes to get to Nottingham. Okay, and that's everything we wanted to cover today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we've managed to clear up all of the time problems you've been having. Thanks a lot. Take care. Thanks again for watching. For more great resources to help build your confidence in ACE exams, feel free to head over to www.katala.co.uk where you can sign up for free today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or suggestions, just comment down below. Thank you.